Her name was Dorothy. In 1957, she kept a two-bedroom house in Akron, Ohio, spotless. 5 people lived in it. She spent 20 minutes a day cleaning. Her daughter timed her once, standing in the hallway with a watch. 22 minutes. From the moment Dorothy tied her apron to the moment she set it on the hook by the door. 22 minutes. And the house was ready for anyone, at any hour, without warning. In 1957, neighbors did not call before coming over. They simply appeared at the screen door. Dorothy's kitchen counter was always wiped. The bathroom mirror was always clear. The living room floor was always swept. She was never embarrassed by what someone found when they opened the door. Not once, not in 30 years of married life. Her daughter cleaned her own house for 3 hours every Saturday, and it never looked as clean as Dorothy's did on a Tuesday morning. She asked her mother about it once. Dorothy looked at her like she had asked why the sun came up. She said, "You clean it wrong." Dorothy did not have a Roomba. No cordless vacuum with 5 attachments, no microfiber cleaning caddy from a subscription box, no granite-specific spray for the counters, no color-coded sponge system, no cleaning playlist she put on to motivate herself. Under Dorothy's kitchen sink sat 5 things: baking soda, white vinegar, 1 lemon, a bar of castile soap, a stack of cotton rags cut from worn-out dish towels. 5 things. They cleaned every surface in the house. The trick was not the products. The trick was never the products. This video is about what the trick actually was, and why a $50 billion cleaning industry was built to make sure you never found out. Then something changed. Not the dirt, not the house, not what it takes to keep a home clean. What changed is exactly what this video is about. Before number 10, subscribe. This is exactly what this channel is here to make. Number 10. Dorothy cleaned before things got dirty. This is the first thing people get wrong about the 1950s housewife routine. They think it was about cleaning. It was not about cleaning. It was about prevention. Tuesday morning, October 8, 1957. Dorothy finished breakfast, sent the children to school, and wiped the stovetop. The stovetop was not dirty. It had a thin film of steam from the morning eggs. She wiped it in 30 seconds. It stayed clean for the rest of the week. Her daughter let the stovetop go for 4 days and then spent 40 minutes scrubbing hardened grease with a specialty degreaser that cost $7 a bottle. The difference was not the product. The difference was the 30-second wipe on Tuesday morning before anything had time to harden. The cleaning products industry in the United States reached over $50 billion in 2023. A meaningful portion of it is sold to people treating problems that a daily 30-second wipe would prevent entirely. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 9. Every room had 20 seconds, every morning. Dorothy moved through her house the same way every day. Bedroom, beds made, pillow smoothed, floor clear. Bathroom, sink wiped, mirror dry clothed, toilet swirled with the brush kept beside the base. Kitchen, counter wiped, stovetop wiped, dishes in the drying rack. Living room, cushions straight, 1 pass with the carpet sweeper. Each room took 2 to 3 minutes. The whole circuit took 20 minutes, nothing more. Dorothy did not deep clean on Tuesday morning. She reset. There is a difference. Resetting means touching every room for the minimum necessary to keep it from accumulating. Deep cleaning happens once a week, on Saturday, and takes longer. But because Dorothy reset every day, the Saturday deep clean was never the ordeal it becomes in homes that skip the daily circuit. Research published by the American Cleaning Institute found that the average American now spends 6 hours per week cleaning their home. Dorothy spent less than 2.5. The difference is sequence, not effort. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 1 on this list is the cleaning habit the home organization industry has spent the most money erasing. A habit so simple it cannot be packaged. Stay with me. Number 8. Dorothy owned less. This sounds like a different topic. It is not. The average American home in 1957 had approximately 300 possessions. The average American home in 2024 has over 300,000. Every additional object is a surface to be dusted. Every additional toy is something that must be picked up before the room can be cleaned. Dorothy's house had what was needed: a sofa, 4 chairs, a kitchen table, a dresser, a bed. The children's room had beds, a shared dresser, and a wooden toy chest. When Dorothy swept the living room, it took 90 seconds because there was nothing to move around. The home organization industry, storage solutions, closet systems, drawer organizers, shelf units, is now worth over $13 billion in the United States. Most of it is selling solutions to a problem created by owning more than can be organized. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 7. Dorothy had a different task for each day of the week. Monday, laundry. Tuesday, ironing. Wednesday, mending. Thursday, market. Friday, floor mopping. Saturday, full deep clean. Sunday, rest. Each heavy task had its own day. Nothing competed. Nothing piled up. When laundry had its own day, it never became a mountain. When ironing had its own day, it never became an intimidating backlog. When mopping had its own day, the kitchen floor was never the project it becomes when it has been ignored for 2 weeks. Research on habit formation published in the European Journal of Social Psychology found that daily task assignment eliminates decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion of deciding what needs to be done and when. Dorothy never decided what to clean. She already knew. Monday was always laundry. The decision had been made permanently. The global productivity app industry, tools for scheduling, tracking, and managing household tasks, is now worth over $15 billion. Most of it is selling Dorothy's index card pinned to the inside of her kitchen cupboard. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 6. Dorothy's cleaning supplies could be counted on one hand. Under her kitchen sink, baking soda, white vinegar, 1 lemon, castile soap, cotton rags. That was everything. Baking soda scoured the sink and the toilet bowl. White vinegar cut grease on the stovetop and disinfected the counter. The lemon removed stains and left the surface smelling clean. The castile soap handled everything that needed soap. The cotton rags, cut from worn-out towels, replaced themselves free of charge. 5 things. Every surface in the house. Walk into any American supermarket today and count the products on the cleaning aisle. Glass cleaner, granite cleaner, stainless steel polish, hardwood floor solution, tile spray, grout whitener, toilet gel, shower foam, oven degreaser. 40 specialized products designed to replace Dorothy's 5. And somehow the houses are messier. A collection of products does not clean your house. A system does. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. We are almost at number 1. It is the cleaning habit that no bottle, no spray, and no subscription box has ever been able to replace. Almost there. Number 5. Dorothy cleaned as she went. This habit has no name because Dorothy never named it. It was simply the way a kitchen worked. When she finished cooking, she wiped the counter before she sat down to eat. When she finished drying her hands, she wiped the sink edge with the same towel. When the children came in from outside, shoes went off at the door. When a dish was used, it went directly into soapy water. Nothing was set down to deal with later. Later became Tuesday's problem. Dorothy had no Tuesday problem. Research from the Princeton Neuroscience Institute found that visual clutter triggers cortisol release and increases stress levels measurably throughout the day. Dorothy's kitchen counter was never cluttered, not because she cleaned constantly, because she never set things down without intention. The mindfulness industry, apps, books, courses designed to reduce daily stress, is now worth over $140 billion globally. A meaningful portion of it is treating stress created by environments that Dorothy maintained as a matter of course. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 4. Dorothy's children cleaned, not occasionally, every day. At 7, James made his own bed before breakfast. At 9, Carol washed the breakfast dishes. At 11, Robert swept the front steps and took out the ash. None of this was optional. None of it came with a negotiation. None of it was called a chore system or a reward chart or an age-appropriate responsibility framework. It was simply what children in a household did. They were members of the household. The household required things. They did them. When 4 people each did their part, the 20 minutes became 15. Dorothy never had that problem. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 3. Dorothy never bought a cleaning product she did not understand. This sounds obvious. It was not obvious by 1965. By 1960, cleaning product advertising had become one of the largest categories on American television. The message was consistent. The product would do the work, not the system, not the habit, the product. Dorothy watched those advertisements from the sofa. She was not persuaded. She already had baking soda. The global cleaning product market reached over $50 billion in 2023, built on the premise that complexity and specialization are better than simplicity and system. They are not. Dorothy's 5-item cleaning caddy was the entire cleaning program her house required. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 2. Dorothy reset the house every evening before she went to bed. This is the one nobody talks about. The morning circuit gets the attention. The evening reset is the reason the morning circuit stayed 20 minutes. By 9 o'clock every evening in Dorothy's house, the kitchen was clean, the dishes were done, the counters were wiped, the children's things were back in their rooms. Tomorrow's tasks were known. Dorothy did not go to bed leaving the kitchen for morning. She went to bed having given morning a head start. When her daughter skipped the evening reset, which was most evenings, the morning circuit grew. The dishes from the night before joined the breakfast dishes. The counter that was not wiped last night had hardened grease from this morning added to it. The 20-minute circuit became 40. The 40-minute circuit felt overwhelming. The overwhelming circuit got skipped. The cycle that results from skipping is what created the cleaning crisis in the first place. Dorothy never entered that cycle because she never went to bed leaving tomorrow's problems for tomorrow. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Number 1. Dorothy believed the house was manageable. This is the one the cleaning industry cannot sell. In 1957, Dorothy had not been shown what her home was supposed to look like by a photographically enhanced image on a social media platform designed to make her feel inadequate. She had a home. It had rooms. The rooms needed tending. She tended them, 20 minutes each morning, a full circuit each Saturday, an evening reset each night. The system was not designed. It was learned from her mother, who learned it from hers. It moved through generations without a book, without a course, without a certification. It was simply how households worked. The home organization content industry now generates billions of dollars annually, telling people how to maintain homes that Dorothy managed without thinking. The information exists in greater quantity than at any point in human history. The homes are messier than they have been in decades. The problem was never information. Information without a system produces anxiety, not order. Dorothy had no information. She had a system. Baking soda under the sink. Monday was laundry. 20 minutes in the morning. The house was ready for anyone, at any hour, without warning. Dorothy never had the product. Dorothy never had the problem either. Dorothy passed away in 2002. She was 83 years old. Her daughter cleared the house after she was gone. Under the kitchen sink, baking soda, white vinegar, a dried-out lemon, a bar of castile soap worn almost to nothing, 3 cotton rags folded neatly. The same 5 things, for 45 years. Her daughter stood at the kitchen sink for a long time. The house had never been cleaned. It had been maintained, every day, in 20 minutes, for 45 years. The 10 habits Dorothy kept were not a cleaning system. They were not a method. They were not optimized. They were just what a woman in Akron, Ohio did every Tuesday morning in 1957. What changed between Dorothy's kitchen and yours was not what a house needs to stay clean. Those requirements have not changed since 1957. What changed was who got paid when those requirements were replaced with something they could bottle, brand, and sell back to you at a markup. Pick one thing from this list. Come back in the comments in a week and tell me what it did. The next video is already waiting.